I'm Bree from mummyof4.com. Welcome back to my channel and another vlog. Today we are getting organised for back to school. I'm going to be going through my list of things that we need to do to get organised and also showing you one of my new toys, which is my Cricut Joy, which I'm going to be using for labelling things and personalising things and all the things that I find super exciting for getting organised. Let me put you guys down here so we can have a little chat. Now, if you caught this video, then you will have seen me do a back to school stock take. And if you haven't done one of these before you do back to school shopping, I highly recommend you do one. Purely because you'll probably end up saving loads of money because you end up realising that some of the things you've already got are absolutely fine and will do for the following school year, especially if the children kind of have a growth spurt mid-year. You realise you've replaced school trousers or jumpers and things halfway through the year and you don't need to re-buy everything. Now, in that back to school stock take video, I did share a big list that is a printable. You can grab that by joining my email club, totally free to join. Just pop in your email address and you get a load of printable goodies sent to you as part of my Ultimate Mum bundle. And I generally send an email once every week or so just with a load of organisation goodies and updates. If you saw this video, you'll know I did buy most of the bits that I needed, the missing bits and pieces from that list. So today's just kind of going to be all about going through everything, seeing if there are any gaps, what needs to be ordered kind of last minute, and just making sure that everything is where it needs to be, that their bags are ready to go, and their folders and things. Because I do like them to have a folder to bring home artwork, homework, that kind of thing that doesn't get squished, and we're going to do some personalising of those and then hopefully they'll actually remember to use them. And then also I've got my trick, which if you haven't seen my previous back to school videos you won't know about, but it's a way to get notes to and from your child's teacher so they don't get lost. So stay tuned for all of that. Now we're going to head down to my office and just pull everything out, see where we're at, see what we needs doing and get organised. So let's take a look at what we need to go through. This is the clipboard full of lists that I worked through in that back to school stock take, and I've been ticking things off as I've been buying them. Now obviously if you download these lists, not everything on the list will be relevant to your child, and just cross out anything they don't need. And then we've gone through what we've got in stock and what's still to get. Now most of the uniform I feel like is kind of under control. I need to throw a load of some of it through the wash. It's a really good tip, guys, if you're buying school jumpers specifically. I've ordered Will's school jumpers, they haven't arrived yet, but when they come, wash them before school starts because they're so fluffy on the inside and they just spend the first week or so with just fluff stuck to their t-shirts otherwise. So do make sure you wash those inside out preferably before the children wear them. So there's school bags I picked up in a shop, Disney haul I believe, over on my Mummy of 4 Does Disney channel, and then they had them as unbirthday presents for Dylan's birthday. The children would have something little on each other's birthdays and I thought, why not school bags? I've got to buy them anyway. So they actually had these back in July, but I kind of hid them away to keep them nice for back to school. So these are already embroidered with their names, and they've also got these nice pencil cases, but I thought maybe we could put something on here that says her name too, so if she puts that down she knows if someone else has got the same one then that one is hers. The other thing each of my children need is one of these bags, at least one of these bags anyway. They'll have one of these in their bag to put their dirty muddy shoes in. Where we live, it's often quite muddy walking to and from school. So often, especially when the weather's a bit yucky, they walk to school in wellies. Then they leave their school shoes in a bag in their school bag. So they carry their school shoes to school because quite frankly, if they weren't wearing wellies, both their shoes and their socks would be absolutely soaking. But I thought it'd be quite nice to pop their names on here as well using the Cricut machine. So I've got those to do. I also have a large and a small folder for each of them. So they don't have a lot of homework, and I'm really hoping most of the homework, if any, okay, quite frankly, PTSD from homeschooling, I'm hoping there's not much homework, but I'm hoping most of that will be on the app that we use to communicate with school. But often, especially the girls, I think they do this a lot more further down the school, come home with a lot of drawings and artwork and things. So I like them to have a folder each that they can put their drawings in so that they stay nice and clean and tidy, not all scrumpled, in the bottom of their bags. So I thought I would maybe label them, perhaps a big label on the back there or on here, personalise those for their names. And then these are going to be carabined to the children's school bags as a note passing system for the teacher. So I'm now going to grab all these bits and pieces, and we need to design what we want to print on the Cricut machine, and then we'll have a go once they're all printed out at labeling all these up, and I'll show you how I do this teacher note passing system too. If you haven't seen a Cricut before, this is called a Cricut Joy, and it's such a cute little device, look. Guys, you know I'm like not artsy crafty at all, so if even I'm gonna be able to manage this, you guys will be fine, because I would love to be like a really Pinteresty mum that does really artsy crafty things, but I can't draw and I've just never been any good at being artsy crafty. So doing something like this is probably a little out of my comfort zone, but let's see how easy it is and how well I get on. So come over to my desk. You've got the desktop app that you can download directly to your computer. So that's how I've been doing the designs and things in the design space. But there's also an iPad app, an iPhone app, an Android app, so whichever device you're using, you can easily create these designs. They've got loads of different options that you can just use as templates. You don't have to be super creative, which is fantastic for me. And you can adapt the designs that they've already created for you to make your own personalized items. So I'm keeping it pretty simple. I just want some lovely decorative names to put on the children's items. There are loads of different options of pretty coloured vinyls. You've got permanent and non-permanent. I am just going to use some white vinyl, I think, because I need to label the backs of their pencil cases. I want to put their names on there in just a nice big lettering, and I think white would just make sense because it's a nice contrasting colour. So I've selected my project on the cloud. I'm just going to select the one I want to make and just press make it. It's going to show me how it's going to cut everything out, give me some options. Okay, so we're going to choose which material we're using, which is Smart Vinyl Permanent. So I'm going to measure how much it needs and then just start going. So it's now cut out their names. I'm now going to separate them just by cutting them with scissors, and then take some transfer tape and transfer them onto their pencil cases. So you probably can't see those very well at the moment, but the machine has cut all around the lettering and made stickers in effect, which are really cool. So while I'm doing this, I just want to chat to you very quickly about back to school. How is everyone feeling about it? There's the organisation of the whole back to school thing, isn't there? Which is sometimes a bit stressful, but I've got a whole other layer of it this year in that Zara, my youngest, is starting full-time school. So for the first time in a decade, I am going to be at home childless all day. I mean, don't feel too, stressed out for me. The time is going to go really quickly because obviously I work full-time from home and I should be able to work during the day and fit in quite a lot, so I've had to train myself to be so productive. I've had to do ridiculously early mornings, work in the evenings, just work around the children. And this summer I have felt a lot of guilt. So it's Sunday today, the day I'm filming. My husband's home, so he's got the children. He said, come on, I'm going to take them for a lovely walk. Do you want to come? And I think, well, I'd love to, but unfortunately I've got stuff I have to do. So I'm hoping maybe September will bring with it a little less guilt. I'm going to try and be really strict with myself. I'm going to try my best to work during school hours and then turn off my computer, put on out of office and literally stop working. Whether that's going to happen or not remains to be seen. So the positive I have to look at is that I should have a better structure to my day, a better work-life balance, but also, like, I'm not even sure I can talk about this without welling up, but my last baby going to school full time, I know she'll be happy and I know it's the right thing for her, and let's face it, I do not want to do homeschooling again. It's not that I want to homeschool my children, because I personally found that hard and not much fun. It's just the fact that my last baby's not a baby anymore is a bit and I mean, if you saw my end of breastfeeding video, I cried, and it wasn't because the end of breastfeeding, it was because she wasn't a baby anymore, and I know she's my last baby. And every time one of the others has gone to school, there's been either the potential of another baby or another baby on my hip. So this does very much feel end of an era. If anyone else is feeling that about September and kind of thinking, oh, I'm just, no, you're not the only one. And I'm there with you, feeling it. Let's go and get some transfer tape and pop these lovely sticker designs onto their pencil cases so we can see how they look. I've come out into the kitchen because I've got a bit more space. I'm going to use this transfer tape, which basically is the easy way to get these stickers off here and onto whichever surface you want to get them stuck onto without it being really, really, really fiddly, and for them to go on nice and easily and in place. Now the good thing about this transfer tape is you can actually use it more than once. I've also got a couple of little tools. I've got this for helping me lift the vinyl off the backing, and then I've got this to smooth everything out to make it stick down nicely. You could use a credit card or something, but that's like a perfectly designed little tool. Let's give this a go.
We break down, caving in to our doubts, faces filled with sadness. When words are said, we'll regret. I can see the fire that we made just to save us. When we try to make up for never letting go, said the things we promised not to say, then we break up just to start all over, even though we know this is the hard way better. We can't be heartache together. This is the hard way better. We can't be heartache.
Say, I'm quite pleased with myself. These are looking really cool and just nice and personalised. So they're the pencil cases to go with their school bags, but with their very own names on them. My next job is to sort through our stationery caddy for homework, which currently looks like this, which is a bit of a disaster. So I need to empty it out, tidy it all up a bit, give it a bit of a clean so that we're ready to tackle the joys of homework when they happen, and then refill it with pens. I'm thinking it might need a nice stationery label on it as well. What do you think? I've got to say, I'm pretty pleased with that. Perhaps it could do with being on a little bit straighter because I've not got the steadiest hands, but you know what? Still pretty pleased. Anyway, I'm now going to print out some labels for the children, but I'm going to use more of a blocky font because I've realised this nice swirly font looks very pretty, but it's not how the children are supposed to be forming letters, is it? So I found more of a how the children would form letters in school kind of font, because that's really the way that I'm supposed to be writing things that are schooly so that they're recognising the letters a little bit more.
Shooting me with words, but I won't let them bruise. Even though it hurts, I won't show it to you. 'Cause it will ricochet, I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. Let me tell you, no, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. And even if you're trying to hurt me, my skin's getting thicker each day. I don't know how you fall asleep at night.
guys, let me show you what I've done. I'm actually really pleased with myself because I think I've said this before and I will say it again. I'm not artsy or crafty, so this is kind of way out of my wheelhouse. And the fact that I've been able to manage to do something like this that is quite crafty, that I have like made something and personalised something myself, I'm quite proud of myself. So the pencil cases, these are the ones that I bought for the children. They have been personalised with the children's names. So I will bring the children and show them what I've done in a minute, but really chuffed with those. Then I moved on to doing the simpler fonts, and I will say they took a fraction of the time to transfer. So these simple fonts are probably a bit better for children of my children's age anyway, because I mean it's not too bad for William, who's going into the juniors, but for Zara, who's just learning to read, she can read her own name, but when things are a bit flicky and twirly and pretty in script fonts are sort of not recommended for little ones. So they've got one of these folders each. William has to have Will M. That's not that I've forgotten to write William. He's referred to as Will, but we have to have M because there's also a William W in his class as well. So therefore, there's only one Zara in her class, there's only one Bella in her class, but William has to have an M on the end of everything. So they are going straight into their bags for artwork to come home, really. These are their shoe bags for putting their shoes in to go to and from school. These did come in a massive bag of bags. I'll link everything below. These are really handy. I have these in stock at all times, so they don't only use them for shoe bags, but I have the spare ones in stock for, you know, if you've got to like send in a bit of costume or I don't know, gather together something they've got to collect for homework or whatever. They're really handy bags, and they weren't expensive. They're in a really big pack. So pleased with those. I will show those to the children before I pop them in their bags. And then these. Now these are the ones I needed to show you. These are my communicating with the teacher envelopes. And what I do with these, I shall show you now. I quite simply get a hole punch and punch the corner like so. Then I got a little carabiner for each of the children, like so. Pop that on the corner of there, and then that gets attached to their school bags. Now if I have got a form or something that I need for them to give in, then that goes into this folder rather than into the pits of their bag, because anything that goes into the pits of their bag may stay there for a very long time. Whereas if it's like a case of there's money that's got to be given in, you know, they do charity days on uniform days or a trip form for permission or whatever, although a lot of it is going online, which is great, there's always going to be some forms. And when they go in here, they're just more likely for my child to remember to see them, or maybe the teacher will see it and they'll be like, ah, is that for me? Make your child's teacher aware if you're doing this system, that if there is going to be anything, that perhaps they could put it in there rather than just hand it to your child, so then it won't get left on the carpet, and then you will see that you've got something they need as well. So that is Bella's bag, all sorted. I can pop the pencil case in that. In fact, I'll do it all, I'll show it all to them, and then I will put all the stuff in and away. So I'll do Zara's. Zara's got kind of purpley stuff. I tend to get pinky stuff for Bella and purpley stuff for Zara, just because they're the colours of their bunnies. So Zara's bag, gotta say, Zara's bag is about the same size that she is. I don't know how well she's going to carry all that. There we go, that's her Zara one. And then Will has got kind of greeny themed stuff because he has got a green bag with Grogu. Is it Grogu, the funny little Yoda man? Is that Grogu? I haven't seen The Mandalorian, I will admit. We're all kind of Disney nuts in this house. If you have seen my Mummy of Four Does Disney channel, you'll know that we recently went on a Disney cruise. So if you're into all things Disney, do go and have a look at that channel. I have just done a massive series of, I think, a 9-part vlog series all about our Disney cruise. So if you enjoy just a bit of feel-good Disney, do go and check that out. There we go, that's Will's bag. Right, I'm rather pleased with all this. Oh, and the stationery candy, I'll show you this as well. So, don't look too closely, it's slightly on the wonk. Just ever so slightly on the wonk, but do you know what? I'm not gonna look too closely and I'm happy with that. I'm still a little bit of a novice at this. It's a little bit of a practice to make perfect kind of thing, especially with the swirly writing. Like a blocky, you know, child-friendly font. This is really quick. These fiddly ones take a lot more kind of care, and there's a little bit more to go wrong. So if you're starting out with some Cricut projects, I would suggest start with the basic ones just to have a little practice and a little play around, and then work up to something a little bit more squiggly. But I have reloaded our stationery caddy. I've got some more glues to add in here. These are all a pack of fresh pens, and then these are some pens that still work. All the scissors are actually together. So we've got those. We've got two types of scissors. We've got like the crinkly cut scissors and the normal, like actually cutting things out scissors. And they're all safety scissors. I will link a blog post with all the different bits and pieces I've got in here. We've got some crayons, colouring pencils, some of which need sharpening, and erasable pens. Guys, if your children struggle with making mistakes and things, obviously all children make mistakes, but if your children struggle with getting upset with making mistakes, erasable pens, and I've got to say, I love erasable pens just for making my own notes and things because I don't mess up my own notebooks. Erasable pens, didn't discover them until I was in my 30s. They're a game changer. So we're nearly there now, I think, guys. We're nearly there for back to school. How much more have you guys got to do for back to school? I do need to just kind of do a check over of their uniform, which I shall do another day. I still have to order some trousers for my eldest. If I go through my list, there's just literally a couple of bits. William's school jumpers haven't arrived yet, so I need to wash those, as we discussed, before they go in with his uniform. Right, let's go and get the children and show them what I've done. Right, guys, William, let's do yours first. Here's your bag. The children, by the way, are still wearing Disney clothes because we're kind of all Disney mad now, aren't you? Right, William's bag. Well, where do letters go?
In there.
Yeah, so if your teacher gives you a letter,
Put it in there.
that's it. And if mummy gives you something to give to your teacher, it goes in.
There.
That's right.
There.
Cool. Right, then you've also got a folder to go in your bag. This is for drawings, homework. You're less likely to bring stuff like that home than the girls, but still, that goes in there.
Yeah.
And we've also got, pass me that blue bag behind you, baby. You love it, do you?
I
love
love
it.
my purple.
That's it. And this one is for your shoes.
I really
So that's
like
your
my
lot.
purple.
Oh,
Look
and
at
your
the
pencil
colour.
case.
And
I'm
I
glad
got
you love it. Where's your pencil case, baby? There it is.
one.
So you've got Grogu pencil case, William on it.
Open it.
That's your stuff, my darling. Right, Sarah, you want to go next? Zaza, if your teacher gives you a letter, you put it in here to give to mummy,
Yeah.
okay? If mummy puts something in there, you need to give it to your teacher.
Yes.
Because Zara is going to
I
full-time
know.
school in September, aren't you?
Let's
Zaza, what are you going to have in school you didn't have before?
Line.
Lunch. I know, lunch in school. And then mummy will be able to say, what did you have for lunch? And you'll be able to tell me. No, Zara doesn't technically need to take a pencil case, but didn't want to be left out because, you know, FOMO. So that's your lot. And Belle, Bella, my Belle. Where do letters go?
In there.
In there. Come and show everyone that Bella is actually, and Zara, dressed as Belle at the moment. Right, in here. So that's for drawings and things.
Yeah.
You don't technically have to take a pencil case, but you can if you would like to. If not, Bella fancied this in Shop Disney ages ago. William needed a pencil case, and you two, again, had FOMO, didn't you? Oh, hang on, girlies, pass me those bags, because I need to add those to your bags. There we go. Bella, yours is pink. Do you like that?
Yeah. Mine
Excellent.
that purple.
Yours is purple, which matches your purple bag. Pop it in there. So thank you so much to Cricut for working with me to bring you this video. If you would like to pick up any of the items mentioned in this video, everything is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. If you've liked this video, please give it a
Thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we post more videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m.
Thank you guys. More videos are on screen now. Take a look at one of those and I shall see you over there. Mwah.